We have some breaking news. The Lakers have made an absolutely crucial move surrounding Shake Milton and following what has been a crazy last 24 hours of transactions for the Lakers following acquiring Marcus Smart. A big move has been made surrounding Shake Milton. I'm going to break that down, but also discuss multiple new reports that have followed, revealing some very interesting details. You're going to want to stay tuned till the end, but there's a ton to go over today. Moves are being made and more are coming. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. You guys have been absolute beasts with the support, and it truly means the world to myself over here in the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot to go over today, and we knew that a move was on the horizon. I covered it in my video last night, and of course, following the acquisition of Marcus Smart, which is still, of course, has to be made official, the roster is looking a lot better, and we know that yesterday, Marcus Smart was acquired, but in order for that to finalize, they have to make subsequent moves. And that subsequent move was just made moments ago as Shams comes out and reveals that the Lakers have waived guard Shake Milton. Sources tell ESPN Milton's $3 million contract for next season would have to become fully guaranteed today. The Lakers are clearing space for the signing of Marcus Smart. And there is a lot to dissect here because, like I mentioned, as we all know, they signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with their biannual exception. However, in order for this deal to officially go through, they need to make room. Now, the first domino has fallen, and that is Shake Milton. We'll dive into Shake Milton, his impact on the team, all these different things. But most importantly, this is the first domino to fall, and I expect another domino either to fall today or in the coming days because the Lakers don't necessarily have a huge rush in order to finalize this contract, but they needed to get rid of Shake Milton today, and Milton is gone. And let's dive into his tenure here with the Lakers a little bit before we dive into some of these new reports. And more reports are dropping as I'm recording, so I'm going to keep you up to date, every single step of the way. But let's dive into his year last year. Now, of course, coming in to the season with the Lakers, of course, he got traded over the deadline, 3.9 points a game. He was a part of the Dorian Finney-Smith trade. Didn't really do much for the Lakers, was really bad. And I think the Lakers and Rob Pelinka actually expected him to be decent this year because you think back to his time with Brooklyn, he was having a decent year as a bench player. But, for the Lakers to waive him, $3 million guaranteed, is it a lot of money? Not necessarily. Is it enough to where, the Lakers could keep him and justify it? Absolutely not, especially following the acquisition of, Marcus Smart, which is, of course, the big reason that they waived him. But he's going to, and I'm sure he'll find a spot with another team. He had some great years in Philly. And for this team now, you look at this chart, again, this isn't updated with the Marcus Smart, signing, so ignore the projected salary and things like that and, put Marcus Smart on the bench. But looking at the other reserves, like Shake Milton was pretty low on the depth chart. They didn't, they weren't using him. JJ Redick had minimal trust in him. So to see him gone, not necessarily a surprise, but is an absolutely crucial move nonetheless. Now, in the same vein, you can see this here by Jay Cooper, and I just want to kind of go over what this means going forward. You can see here, expect the Lakers to waive Shake Milton today. His deal isn't guaranteed, so it's the obvious move. Now, don't panic if you don't hear about the Marcus Smart officially signing right away. It's coming, but he has to clear waivers first, and that takes a couple of days. Here's the key. They don't have to sign him immediately. The team has the ability to waive Goodwin at any time to make room for Smart, so there's no pressure. If there is a consolidation trade, I mispronounced that, a consolidation trade out there, great. They'll even pull the trigger. So essentially what's happening here is the Lakers, for those, curious, they still need to get rid of somebody else, but they can do that with Jordan Goodwin at any time, right? You can, of course, let Jordan Goodwin go at any time, and that would open up enough space for Marcus Smart. However, I don't think the Lakers want to do that, and reports have dropped that they're working on a bigger trade. Now, whether that's someone for a guy like Andrew Wiggins, whether that's, for somebody else, we'll have another video on that later, but this doesn't mean that the Smart signing is going to be immediately finalized, right? It's not necessarily the case because I would assume, and according to reports, at this very moment right now, they are trying to either make a trade so that way they can, basically open up the biannual exception fully so they don't have to get rid of Jordan Goodwin. And if they can't find that trade, then they would have to waive Jordan Goodwin. They want to keep him, but in order to do that, you'd have to make a trade elsewhere to move some things around. And that's probably a trade including Dalton, Knecht, and Maxi Kleber. And that seems to be, what's happening here. But the Lakers have most of the leverage in the situation. Now, again, we know that Marcus Smart is going to sign with the Lakers. There's no, worry about that. It's more so about how long this is going to take. The worst case is they waive Jordan Goodwin, they sign Smart. That's what it is. However, the other situation here could be that, of course, they, make a trade elsewhere. And we'll have a full video covering it, but it makes things very interesting. And you can see this here from Daniel Starkand. No surprise here. One more move will need to be opened up in order to, fully open up, rather, the biannual exception for Marcus Smart. And again, that's the biggest piece of information here that, needs to be understood. this isn't the only move that they were going to make. This was the first step in the in the move to open up the Marcus Smart signing for it to be official. But of course, there's mutual interest here from both sides regarding Shake Milton and the Lakers. But also, there's a mutual understanding between Marcus Smart and the Los Angeles Lakers that we're going to have to try to do what's best for the team here. And of course, they acquired him, right? And we know they're going, at least it's not official, but they're going to be acquiring him. But after that, like, are they going to make a trade for a guy like Andrew Wiggins, like I covered in yesterday's video? And they're going to do other things. And it's important to note, will they make a trade today? Not necessarily. They need to make a decision on Milton today, but they could make a move a week from now. Now, I don't think it's going to be that long. I would assume that another move is imminent. And again, regarding Shake Milton, like, this was the obvious move. There was no doubt about it. This is what's going to happen in order for this team to make room. Regarding the biennial exception, at the end of the day, it's going to be a very interesting, it's going to be interesting to see how they actually maneuver this, because they could either go ahead and waive Jordan Goodwin. I think JJ Redick, he has publicly shown a lot of faith in Goodwin. So I think their goal right now is to probably keep Jordan Goodwin around, but that's the fallback plan here. And the decision could take a few days. It could take, it could happen by the end of the day. It all depends on what's going to happen specifically with this team. Now, couple other things to go over here as well. There's obviously a lot to talk about all over the place a little bit. With the way that this team currently looks, I think they are better off making a trade anyway. And I've been discussing this on the channel a lot. In order for this team, I think right now, as they're currently constructed, you add Marcus Smart into the bench. He's probably the sixth man, but in the realistic case scenario here, I would like to see maybe even Austin Reaves move to the bench and then Marcus Smart be the guy who starts. And then if you add one more defensive-minded wing in replacement of Rui Hachimura, then you could figure things out there. Now, in a consolidation trade, if you're probably going to be, at a point where you have to move off of Dalton Knecht, that's kind of the, most likely scenario here is you move off of Dalton Knecht. If you're doing that, you still have your 2031 first-round pick. You have some other assets that you can move around with it. Gabe Vincent's a guy who's been, his name has been thrown out there a lot. You have other guys as well. I think it's at the point now where you're probably better off, making a move now and getting it out of the way, because they want to keep Goodwin. But not only that, you still have the assets that you were supposedly going to be able to move off of in a trade for a center, whether that be Dalton Knecht, Maxi Kleber, and a first, whether that be Dalton Knecht, some other assets like Rui Hachimura, if you're going for a guy like Andrew Wiggins, because the Heat obviously want to compete. Like, there's a lot of different avenues here that they can, take. And the biggest thing at this moment is going to be what route they take. Is it a big trade? Is it just a smaller one in order to get, basically aggregate all of your salary? Because you have a ton of expiring contracts, and that's the biggest question mark right now. And obviously, it's going to be interesting to see. We have new reports coming out, and at the end of the day, there's a big decision coming here. And what's going to happen next is going to be very crucial for this team. But that'll wrap it up. Let me know down below what your thoughts are. A lot of moving pieces, a bit of an all over the place video here with all these different pieces moving, but lots of things coming. We're going to keep you up to date all the way through. And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you very, very soon for another video.